All right, we are a go on Facebook as well, gentlemen. Or should we start the thing?
Let's do it.
Ladies and gentlemen.
Let's go.
Live from Nerd Bacon HQ in Des Moines, Iowa, this right here is the Level Up Lariat podcast with three of the brightest minds in video gaming, brought to you by Bacon.com. I am Jeff, a.k.a. Jeff Roth.
I'm Dave the Watchman.
And I'm Level Up Justin.
And holy we got the full crew here tonight. Thank you for joining us here at twitch.tv/NerdBacon. Also currently live at Facebook Live on the Nerd Bacon Reviews and News Facebook page. Gentlemen, how in the hell are you guys?
I'm doing all right.
Yeah.
Somebody answer me.
Doing
really well,
I'm
actually.
chatting with somebody from CenturyLink trying to figure out, hey, when are you going to have higher speeds in your area? Because Mediacom sucks.
Oh, we already started down that path. So let's just name drop and then bury some companies here in town.
I would be happy to.
All right, obviously. So yeah, we are going to be infiltrating your eye sockets and your ear holes on both Twitch and Facebook. Justin has his eyeballs set on the Twitch chat. I have my occipital face appendages on the Facebook Live chat. If you have any video game questions during the show, just pop them in chat. Hello, welcome to the show. Some quick housekeeping news up front. This is going to be very video game heavy. We're going to actually try in the future to kind of separate out the wrestling and the video games to kind of, we don't want to play to a niche crowd. We want to be encompassing and let people decide wrestling or video games. We can do both.
That's right, we can.
So basically, I mean, we had a lot of video game news this week.
Yeah.
Very little wrestling stuff aside from the Charlotte Flair ruptured breast implant.
Which I didn't even include, but you snuck it in.
I did.
It's a tragedy.
Snuck it in. And she got her tooth knocked out. Did you hear about that too?
Yeah, that was pretty sick.
Yes.
CM Punk is going to be at Pro Wrestling Tea Shop in Chicago, making his first appearance in wrestling since he left for MMA.
Yep.
Could he potentially be at All In? I'm going to go ahead and assume so.
Yeah, I would imagine so.
And also announced Rey Mysterio Jr. for All In.
I know.
Kind of cool for that. But anyway, enough of that. Also, Braun Strowman's fantastic. Moving on. Guys, we're going to get into a lot of video game news, so let's dive right in. What say you guys? Also, I'm excited because it's Baja Blast season, and this is the best Mountain Dew, not Code Red. So.
Hey, the Mountain Dew Ice is actually pretty good. Have you had that one?
I tried it. It's kind of like if Mountain Dew tried to do Sprite.
Yeah. I didn't mind it too bad.
I would drink it again, but with Code Red being my favorite and Baja Blast season, I'm Mountain Dew'd out, man.
Yeah.
Fight me. Here's my take: is that Code Red is the best Mountain Dew flavor, and Baja Blast is the best seasonal flavor, and the everything else is crap. The Pitch Black is pretty good. The Pitch Black is pretty good, but the Voltage is crap. The Whiteout is crap.
Yeah.
The Dew SA, which was the worst thing they ever made, is the worst thing they ever made. I don't even count the Doritos in that.
Oh, jeez.
Anyway.
So, for your Mountain Dew sponsorship.
Please, come on, that'd be great. That'd be fantastic. Bring back the Dark Knight one, that's really good. Okay, let's start with some sad news. Shall we? Fans of NerdBacon.com will know that I, the Jeff Roth, recently played a game called Radical Heights.
Yes.
And I put up on the site my initial thoughts of this Battle Royale game from Boss Key Productions, Cliff Bleszinski's studio. Whoopsies! Boss Key Productions no longer exists. They shut down. And Cliff Bleszinski himself is taking a break from video gaming, but of course Lawbreakers will be shutting down if it hasn't been yet, and Radical Heights is going to be biting it as well. Gentlemen, thoughts on Cliff Bleszinski's recent, let's say the studio's having some troubles and now is no longer existing. Thoughts on this closure?
Seemed like he was kind of late to a lot of these bandwagon things. Lawbreakers seemed like a really good title, but it was really hard for that to gain traction because Overwatch came out and then Lawbreakers came out after that. And it was kind of a Me Too thing, and it just didn't it just didn't resonate with people. Overwatch was a hot thing at the minute.
Right.
And when Lawbreakers failed, PUBG and Fortnite had already taken over, so they tried to scramble and get something on that Battle Royale bandwagon, and they put something together that looked like it was slapped together in a couple of weeks, and it was kind of fun from what you said, Jeff, but yeah, if you don't put the time in, well, I don't know if it's not that they put the time, that they didn't put the time and effort into it, but it's just we're at a point now where Fortnite it's just too big. It's going to have to be something really amazing to take it down.
Yeah, and to just piggyback off what Dave said, actually, and the Mountain Dew sighting. So anyway, to piggyback off what Dave said, something I heard Jared Petty kind of mention was that Lawbreakers was actually a pretty good game and just couldn't catch traction because of, like you said, Overwatch. And then, I mean, Cliffy B was very open. He just said that he put out Radical Heights to try to catch something. Like, there was no secret about it, to try to catch some success there and to keep the studio open. He wasn't able to do so, but essentially just kind of wrong place, wrong time for both these games. The second one, especially with Radical Heights being, well, the first one was more wrong place, wrong time. Second one being, he just tried something to, like I said, keep it afloat. And since he couldn't, it really just, I mean, unfortunately, kind of put some people out of jobs, which wasn't what we want to see. But it just like we said, wrong place, wrong time, and Radical Heights looked like it was really fun to play. Jeff, you played it. I also seen some of the bigger streamers playing it, like Ninja, Dr. Disrespect, for example.
Hey!
So what
are you saying about me?
I'm scouting to always make our content better. So yeah. I'm seeing what they put out. But anyway, and the thing is that people did it, like people played it. But it was the fact that it's almost as if games nowadays have to be fun to watch. Because if they're not, then if it's a shooter, it's not going to catch as much traction. So Overwatch can be fun to watch. Fortnite can be fun to watch. But you've seen Radical Heights, while it looked awesome, and it may have been fun to watch to an extent, it maybe wasn't as fun. Plus, like you said, Fortnite's gigantic at this point.
That's a really good point, Justin. A game does have to be fun to watch, and that's something I think that me, as kind of a crusty old timer, kind of forgets, because I'm used to being on the mountain with Next Generation magazine in hand, saying it's gameplay, and
it's so different now, though. I mean, I'm right there with you. I mean, it's so different, though.
Absolutely. Because just thinking back 20 years ago in 97, 98, when we were looking at Metal Gear Solid coming out and Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time. Thinking here's the pinnacle of gaming. Something like esports and Twitch and all this streaming culture that's popped up really in the last 5 to 10 years.
Right.
It wasn't even a twinkle in our eye at that point.
Right. And I love streaming. I love Twitch. I love Mixer. I love Facebook and YouTube. I love being able to have that outlet.
I love Lamp.
I love Lamp.
Sorry, I had to.
But essentially, like we said, if the games aren't fun to watch, then some of those games will fall off. And the games that are fun to watch catch so much traction on social media and places like Twitch that at that point, it's kind of like it helps just boost it. So would a game like Fortnite be as popular if it wasn't so watchable? But then you got to think other games like God of War, for example. People streamed it, but that game was popular for a totally different reason. But you look at, it is gameplay. Like we always have said, gameplay is like number one. But nowadays, it's got to be watchable. I mean,
that's really important.
It's so crazy.
At what point do streaming games kind of take over TV?
We're kind of there in a
way.
If you look at
there.
If you look at just how popular the Overwatch League is becoming right now, and the fact that we're getting esports on ESPN and stuff like that. But back to Bosky here before we get too in a tangent here. It felt like Bosky was kind of chasing the curve rather than chasing the trend rather than making the trend. Sure. And I feel like Overwatch's community, and we're just going to compare. I mean, Lawbreakers was a really cool idea. It's not really a one-to-one with Overwatch, but it's a close comparison.
Right.
Overwatch already has a very established player base.
Sure.
Fortnite has a really established player base. That's already getting
of everybody and their mother.
Jesus.
That's already kind of getting split between that and PUBG. So to come in there with an unfinished product and say, no, pay attention to us, and the Battle Royale is still on its way up, I think. We're not even at the peak of Battle Royale yet.
We're not.
So
just wait till E3.
So to jump in late on something that's already taking off with 2 heavy hitters, they were screwed from the get-go.
Right.
So I'm not surprised that this happened, and I'm not surprised that they just shut down and just said, okay, we're good. I feel bad, though, if you ended up buying the Founders Pack for Radical Heights, because you're just kind of SOL right now.
Yeah.
And luckily I spared that, but if you spent money on those games, you're kind of SOL.
And I feel bad for those who obviously lost their jobs. It was obviously really nice to see on social media other companies reaching out and said, hey, we're looking for this, or we're hiring. So, and then when it comes to Cliffy B, take some time, and, obviously the guy's got crazy ideas and can do some things, but just hasn't had the best success since.
They just need to stop chasing what's currently popular.
Since branching off.
When Gears of War came out, it was so different. It was such a radical. I'm sorry, that's a little bit of pun, but it was such a unique thing, and then to have these two things being so on the nose when it comes to the trend. It's like you guys are just trying to cash in on this. That's the vibe that we all got with those games.
Right.
They're not bad games. It's just they just came at a bad time.
Yeah, supposedly Lawbreakers was actually pretty fun and
I enjoyed it.
Good game, but like you said, just couldn't catch anything because, look at there was that other 2K hero shooter that came out like right around the same time as Battleborn. Like that game, it just wrong place, wrong time. So.
Let's open up my second Mountain Dew.
Okay.
There you go. You'll be up all night.
Oh, Jesus. That was a good one because it sprayed me in the face. Let's go with the really big news out of Retro Studios.
Yep.
So we have been on this podcast pontificating, and it's my word of a day. Pontificating and guessing what Retro is up to now that Donkey Kong Country is kind of behind us. At least it's out.
Yep.
According to the big rumor and innuendo, the next thing that Retro is working on is Star Fox Grand Prix.
Yes.
Something that none of us saw coming. A Star Fox racing game. Now, we think this is not the only thing they're working on, but when you guys got wind of Star Fox Grand Prix, what did you all think when that announcement came out? That rumor came out, I should say.
I thought, damn it. I don't know. I was pretty certain that they were working on Earthbound, and who knows, they might still, because... but yeah, this Star Fox Grand Prix is surprising, and it's surprising not in a good way.
Sure.
It's actually a canon. I found out one of the endings of the DS Star Fox Command has the Fox team, I guess, getting beaten, and then Falco and Fox go off to start like a racing league. They retool their R-Wings into racers. So it sounds like this is a spin-off of that ending, and that puts that ending as canon. But yeah, it seems so far out there. For a futuristic racer, why not just resurrect F-Zero? I feel like the world is dying for a new F-Zero.
Maybe someone else is doing that.
Well, and here that's the thing is Dave actually is. It's like Dave and I haven't seen each other in a while because we're on the same wavelength right now. Yeah, I feel the same way. Like, why if you're gonna make a game that's so? Let me backtrack a little bit. So the game is supposed to be some sort of spiritual successor to Diddy Kong Racing, but it's more aligned with like a F-Zero. So there's supposed to be like kind of like you're flying. There's also like on the ground. So I don't know if it's like hovercrafts or there's actually wheels on the vehicles. But either way, F-Zero would have just been the right choice to go here because that's what everybody's been clamoring for. Now I'm not saying this game won't be good. I'm not saying it won't be good at all. I just think it's, that's like Diddy Kong Racing. I don't know that anybody asked for Diddy Kong Racing, but we got it.
No, nobody did. And it was really weird.
You guys aren't listening to me. I want my Diddy Kong.
No, the weird thing about Diddy Kong, and this is kind of the same situation that Star Fox is in, if you remember, Diddy Kong Racing came out in 1997. just a few months after Mario Kart 64. Now, yeah, Diddy Kong is a little bit different, but it's very odd that you had two very similar racing games released in the same year on the N64.
Right.
With Star Fox Grand Prix coming out, you're still like a year removed from Mario Kart 64, but I feel like there's so much more that they could still do with Mario Kart 64. I don't know if you necessarily need a Mario Kart 9. Mario Kart 8, I'm sorry, is so perfect in what it is, and I think it could continue expanding upon that. But the weird thing that really struck me was that this game would have had to have been in development while Star Fox Zero was still in development over at Platinum.
That's right.
Yep. And with Star Fox being as dormant of a franchise as it's been, it's really odd to me that they would say, yes, let's greenlight 2 Star Fox games at essentially the same time. Now, what I've heard from folks is that there was another game that was in development, that they were working on two different projects, but that game got canceled.
Okay.
And then they put this game together, I think, starting in 2015 or 16 maybe. So this one really hasn't been baking in the oven that long. Maybe right around the time that Star Fox Zero released. So that makes me even more nervous about the quality of this. And I still don't expect it out until 2019. But I don't know. As it stands right now, I want to give Retro the benefit of the doubt. But just as far as a hype level, this really deflated my hype level for E3. Or at least for what Nintendo has. And I'm just not pumped about this game at all. They're going to have to, it's an uphill battle for them to sell it on me. And I kind of hate saying that. Sorry, I'm on a long.
No, keep going.
I kind of hate saying that because I love Star Fox. Star Fox was like, when I was 12-year-old Watchman, Star Fox was it. I mean, that was the game that said, "Oh my God, parents, I need a Super Nintendo. I need to play this game every day." And when I eventually got one, I did play that game every day. Star Fox was it. But Star Fox just hasn't been the same since the original Star Fox. I know people really highly tout Star Fox 64, but I didn't really care for Star Fox 64 that much. I thought it was way too easy. The problem with Star Fox over the past year is they've gotten away from its roots. And I've got this whole idea for a piece that I want to write about what Star Fox needs to do is just go back to shooting. Go back to that shooting pedigree that made it so good in the first place, and get away from the land tanks, get away from the boats, get away from the hoppers or whatever other things you're going to put in to make a vehicular racing game. It's like they're taking all the elements that are wrong with Star Fox and putting that into a game. Sort of like how I felt about the third entry in the Matrix series.
I know Jeff has something because he's got a little bit differing opinion.
Yes,
I can already
sorry.
tell. So I don't want to go. I don't want to go off too much on a tangent, but I will say this real quick. For those, I love kart racers. You guys know I'm a huge kart racer fan. I think this game could be more along the lines of like, not necessarily Diddy Kong, but maybe even go towards like the Sonic and All Stars Racing Transformed kind of game. I'm not saying it will, but it could do something like that. Some of the rumors and some of the things I was hearing when I was kind of doing some research on it last night and this morning was that it will have a shooting aspect to it. There'll be enemies, and there is supposed to be.
Oh yeah, there are going to be bosses.
There's going to be bosses and stuff like that. So
because there's an adventure mode like Diddy Kong Racing.
Yes. So while that doesn't necessarily take my hype level down for Nintendo Z3 because I know what else Nintendo has out there, well, some of it anyway. That this definitely was something where I'm kind of like, well, I guess we'll just see what we get then. So that's how I kind of felt about it.
Yeah. All right, Jeff. What do you got to say?
Hi. Yes, as Justin stole my argument. Sonic All-Stars Racing Transformed was a great game that I thoroughly enjoyed.
Great game.
And I could see that translating to the Star Fox game, where you can race as a tank, and then you go to like a mech, and then you go to the R-wing, and they can do tracks that like you race in space, and they could do a lot of really cool shit with this game. And putting the adventure mode in there, they can kind of resurrect my love of Star Fox, because I agree, Star Fox as a series has been complete shite for the past several games. When you go back to Star Fox Zero being crap, when you go back to Star Fox Adventure, sorry Dave, being crap, when you go back to, I mean, even the ones on 3DS, the one on 3DS was basically just a boot of 64.
It's like they've remade 64 3 times now.
Right.
Yeah, they really have.
The last most recent fun Star Fox game was Star Fox 2 on the SNES Classic.
And even that wasn't that good of a game.
No,
that was surprisingly bad.
But that's why it wasn't released, so I can't hold it against that.
I know.
But they can do some really cool stuff and kind of just get people back on the Star Fox bandwagon for a future Star Fox Switch game, a proper Star Fox Switch game.
Right.
And this doesn't make me feel like I'm excited to play another racing game that's not Mario Kart on my Switch. Great, sweet.
But there's other racing games, though. You know what I mean?
Yeah, there's going to be
Sonic
Racing. Sonic Racing is coming out probably this year, and that's going to go back to like the roots of the series from the Saturn. It sounds like.
And I'm excited for that too. I'll play that too. But like this. I don't think Retro's done. I don't think they're done saying what they're doing.
No.
I think they're going to have a big bombshell at E3. This was not an E3 worthy announcement, so it's great they did it now. This is the icing on the cake that will be E3. Like, if they're putting this little thing out right now, imagine what they're going to actually announce at E3.
Sure.
This actually makes me more hyped because I can get this out of the way and say, hey, this is happening, and now we can focus on the big meat of what's at E3.
Right.
I don't know. I think this is it. This is what they've been working on. Retro's not a big multi-project studio.
Well, more so than that, just what Nintendo has to offer.
Oh, what Nintendo has to offer?
Yeah, Nintendo's going to have a lot to offer at E3. So putting this out there and saying Star Fox is happening over here now takes that off the E3 plate. Okay, fine.
Well,
we can focus on the other stuff.
They haven't officially said it. It's just a rumor that has been confirmed by our
this isn't announced. This is definitely a rumor. But like you said, this is something for Retro. Now, I'm along the thinking that I don't think this is the only game Retro's working on. I do think they're working on a second game. It's been quite a while since we've seen a Retro game. Like, obviously we know Donkey Kong Tropical Freeze came back out. Phenomenal game if you haven't played it. But I think they're working on something else. I mean, I really want to bite on Dave's prediction from the beginning of the year, and I want to think that they're doing another like Earthbound or Mother game, Mother 3 or whatever. But I'm still holding out. I'm still holding out.
And that's one of the other reasons why I feel really bad after this rumor is because I've got so much personal skin in the game,
Sure.
With that prediction and talking with people, and I was getting told that there's actually a possibility that is what they're doing. There's a lot of speculation on the back channels as far as what Retro was working on, and then I'd been hearing that it might be some sort of Star Fox game. I was hearing also that it could be like a mashup between like Star Fox and F-Zero or something like that. So
something to keep an eye on going forward.
Yeah, then this rumor hit yesterday, and then that's that.
Well, let's keep with the rumor mill for easy for me to say. Let's keep things going with the rumor mill for Nintendo. Jesus.
Lots of Nintendo rumors.
Yeah. Also rumored for the Switch, and makes me very, 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 very happy. Metroid Prime Trilogy, the Wii ports of all 3 Metroid Prime games might be actually coming to Nintendo Switch. That makes me super happy.
Yep.
Gentlemen.
Yeah, that would be great, especially if they give it a little graphic overhaul and give it that treatment there. That would be very, very cool to see the Metroid Prime trilogy resurrected. I wonder if they would continue with the motion controls or not on that. But
God, I hope not.
Right. Something tells me they'd still include some sort of motion controls in there, but
right.
I actually think this is a great idea. I hope that they do put this in, because it just lets me know that there's other possibilities. With them talking about not having virtual console or dropping that, and we know they're probably going to still have other older games, coming out. We know that. We talked about that last week. But this lets me know that like other games that were out around that same time frame aren't necessarily dead in the water. It's just a matter of reviving them when they can, and it's a perfect time to get it out because what if they come out and they're like, Metroid Prime 4 is coming next year, and we're like, what? And then you got the trilogy just a little bit before that.
They could do motion control because if you got the Joy-Cons on the tablet, you can't just shake the tablet like you.
Oh, that's a good point. That's a good point.
Yeah.
But yeah, I would imagine if this rumor is true, I would imagine that the Metroid Prime trilogy will release this year, and then Metroid Prime 4 releases next year.
Right.
And that would be great. I could play through those 3 games still to this day because those games are still so good. Even in spite of the Wii, I still loved Metroid Prime 3. And it's just what a fantastic series that was marred by a bad console, but still really, really good. And Metroid Prime 4, I'm as giddy as Dave was.
Yeah.
So.
Did you ever play Metroid Prime The Other M?
I skipped Other M mainly because that was the Wii. That was Wii or Wii U?
That was Wii.
That was Wii.
That's why I skipped it.
That was the one that Tecmo worked on.
Yeah, the side scroller. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. You should come over and play that sometime.
Can we re-release that on Switch, please? I like that the Switch is the home where like the games that I should have played are coming to Switch, a console I'll actually play it on.
Yeah. Well, the problem was with Wii U. I mean, the Wii U sold 13 million units throughout its lifespan, so there really wasn't much room for those titles to breed. So yeah, it makes a lot of sense to do some re-releases.
Right.
Let's keep the mill going because Pokemon. Oh God. Those sounds. Pokemon Let's Go Eevee and Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu coming to Switch, and we'll have Pokemon Go integration. That's a rumor. That's not. But breaking news that we can actually confirm that.
Yeah,
we confirmed that. We can
confirm that this is what's happening. It is Pokemon Let's Go Eevee and Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu.
I like the idea with the integrated the Pokemon Go, because remember that was all the rage and people were getting hit by trains, and now
we need to bring that party back, right?
Bring that party back. Yeah, I really want to see the Pokemon Go integration. That seems like a really cool idea.
Yeah, and I think they're still continuing to try to push that. You know, there was the event last year in Chicago. Was that in Lincoln Park, the Lincoln Park area? They just announced that they're doing it again, but I think it's a slightly different area. And not only are they doing it again, but they have worked with multiple self companies to make sure that it's not complete junk, and that companies can actually push enough bandwidth in that area for the phones to be able to work. So. The fact that it will have that, kind of not really sure how that would work yet. I'm kind of curious. I don't know. Do you have to walk with your Switch? Is it going to be like walking with your phone? Like,
yeah,
how's that going to kind of?
I want to see people at Sculpture Park with their phone and their Switch out.
Yeah, I'm kind of wondering how it will work. But I mean, Dave, if you've got any information other than the article, if you didn't read the article, go to Bacon.com and take a look. But.
Oh, there's no article on that. I was just a breaking headline. Sorry.
Yeah, there ain't shit there. Sorry.
I thought you had the article up there for that one.
I apologize. Anyway, from what I am hearing, this was out on one of the chans, I think, either that or Reddit or something like that.
Sure.
But, they're saying it's actually a remake of Yellow for the Switch, and as we know, 2 versions, Pikachu and Eevee. Red and Blue play a role in the story. You and your rival are new trainers, so I think it's going back to the Red and Blue origins, right?
Okay.
Let's see. Other interesting things. Online has a hub for players.
Ooh.
It does have Pokemon Go integration. Catching Pokemon works like they do in Go.
Okay.
They say rewards in-game and in Go for linking the two together. They also said new accessory can be used with both Go and the games. Announcement soon, releasing this year. I wonder if that new accessory is that thing that I wrote about that Nintendo had filed the patent on. That would make sense.
Perhaps.
Yeah.
I wonder if that will be something like if I can wax poetically here. If it'll be attaching where the Joy-Con is. And maybe use an accessory kind of attached to the Switch that way.
Right.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, because they have the wristband for Pokemon Go, but yeah, you're right. Like it'd make so much more sense to if they had some sort of integration with a different, peripheral and
Integrate this with Labo, goddammit.
Ooh. Labo's...
You should be able to build your own Labo Pokeballs.
Yeah!
and throw them at people.
And then if they catch it, they get to have it.
Right. Right.
Yeah, just walk by the park, bam, cardboard, bam, my eye.
So this is going back to the original. So will this be the ones that we grew up with, the original 151 then?
That's what I'm hearing.
And then it's a remake of, did you say yellow or red and blue?
They're saying yellow.
Okay, because yellow was like the combination of red and blue. Is that correct? But you started with Pikachu instead of choosing one of the original 3. Right.
So it sounds like, depending on which version you buy, that's the one that you're choosing. You either choose Eevee or Pikachu.
Okay. And then,
I guess
obviously
those 2 are going to have legendary status as well. I'm not sure what that means.
I have no idea because all that's changed so much. Because I don't follow Pokemon at all compared to what I used to. But if you think about with Pokemon how it always has been, when they announced that Pokemon was coming, I wondered if they were going to do 2 versions because the reason Pokemon games sell extremely well is because a lot of people buy both versions, and then because. For example, back in the red and blue days, out of the 151, there was like 135 or some weird number of the ones you could catch in one game, and then the ones you couldn't catch were in the other game, but then there was a certain other ones that you couldn't catch in the other one, so you had to trade. But now you have online to be able to do that, which is obviously going to be awesome because back then you had to use the system link cable, and you had to sit there and trade with somebody across from you, and it's going to be really cool, I think, to see that in action, but. It'll be interesting to see if they split the Pokemon kind of like that. And so, like, if one has Pikachu and the other one has the Eevee version, and I have to catch a certain one, and Dave or Jeff has to catch the other one with the trade, and that'll be interesting to see how that works.
So, and from what I'm understanding, you would go out and play Pokemon Go and catch those Pokemon, and then transfer those over into the game. For the Switch.
Interesting.
Yeah, that's kind of cool.
Okay.
It's Nintendo saying, "Get your ass back outside."
You're right.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Okay. I mean, that'll be an interesting way to integrate it. I'd be on board with that. Okay.
The other thing that I'm hearing is that this is a spin-off title.
A spin-off?
Of what?
Of the Pokemon series.
Oh, okay.
So it's not a mainline Pokemon game, but it's like a spin-off kind of experimental thing.
Interesting.
So you could still expect an actual mainline entry down the road.
Oh. So
I would hope so. Yeah.
Then would this be the one that they were talking about last E3?
I don't know.
Or if there's going to be a separate mainline?
That's a really good question. I'm not entirely clear on that.
We will find out in just a few weeks at E3 2018. Do you want to stick with some Nintendo news, or should we kind of take a break from Nintendo for a bit?
No, hit it up.
Okay, fine.
I tried to put it together to have segues, but there was one thing. The Star Fox thing was super important, so we wanted to do that a little earlier.
Fine. The the NES Classic coming back on store shelves on June 29th, my mother's birthday.
That's my birthday.
And Justin's birthday.
Yay.
If you missed the NES Classic to begin with, you can perhaps pick up an NES Classic and probably punch and kick your way through the crowds to get one.
Enjoy it. This is your virtual console.
Yeah, essentially. Yep.
Will you guys be picking up one of these?
Yes. I will finally do it because they said that this is the time that they're going to... Because now, when I go to Target, I see about 3 to 4 of these Super Nintendo classics sitting out. And I've got one of those. So I think they finally have figured out, the demand is there. So I think they're going to finally get some demand out. So I will add it to the Super Nintendo and I'll have one. I think it'll be worth it.
Does this pave the way for the eventual N64 Classic?
Yes.
I think so.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Yes. No, I think
you'll find that out on shelves later this year.
So do you want to guess what games are on the N64 Classic?
Holy crap.
Mario 64, Ocarina of Time, Majora's Mask.
Yeah.
Mario Kart 64.
Yeah. Star Fox
Donkey
64.
Kong 64. Star Fox 64. There's a Kirby game on there somewhere, isn't there?
I think
Kirby
so.
Superstar?
Probably 1080 snowboarding.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
F-Zero X.
F-Zero X,
Yes.
that's to be on there, yeah.
64.
Pilot Wings, yeah.
It'd be awesome if they put any of the wrestling games on, but they won't.
Nope, they can't.
I don't
do
think
that.
they could. Yeah.
No, I don't
Like,
think
the
The
licensing,
big question is going to be: would Banjo-Kazooie make it, and would GoldenEye make it, or Perfect Dark?
so.
GoldenEye, I'll say no.
That's a toughie, and that's a huge omission to leave from
Yeah.
an N64 classic.
And what a time to be alive to think about this. I thought about this the other day on my ride home from work. We are so close, and we would, back in our youths, we would have never thought about it like this. But we are so close to having a moment where it's a Nintendo showcase and freaking Phil Spencer walks out. We are so close from that. Like, okay, Banjo-Kazooie is going to be in Smash Bros. And here's, Papa Phil to tell us about what's coming to the Nintendo Switch.
They call it Papa Phil.
Yeah, Papa Phil and Reggie. No, but you think about that, how
yeah.
close we are to something like that. Now, with that said, I don't know. I think Banjo-Kazooie could do it. I mean, you don't almost have to. That's a staple for that console, right? So.
True, but it depends on the Rare situation, because Rare's going to have Blast Core and Jet Force Gemini, and they're going to have GoldenEye and Perfect Dark, and, so you got to...
Yep. I had heard rumors of Rare Replay possibly coming to Switch. That's been a small thing. So if that's the case,
great.
And if that's the case, then maybe you don't see those kind of games out on 64. But I don't know.
But if Rare Replay goes to Switch, I don't think you then have the Perfect Dark Zero. You wouldn't have Nuts and Bolts. You wouldn't have the Xbox 360 games on the Switch.
Right.
I don't think.
You wouldn't think, but if they play nice, they might share. I mean, this isn't, Microsoft and Nintendo are playing nice right now.
It'll be interesting.
So, Justin, what are your expectations? What do you think about Phil showing up at Nintendo or Nintendo showing up at Microsoft? What would
I say it's more likely that Phil shows up at Nintendo than like someone shows up over at Microsoft. I think.
Somebody showing up at somebody else's thing. What percentage would you put that at?
I'm not super high on it. I say we're close. I would say probably 45%.
45%, not even 50.
Yeah.
A 45% chance.
I just think we're getting close. We're so close to where companies are starting to play nice with each other, excluding Sony. And so your companies are starting to play nice together, and big or small, eventually they're going to be like I said, the example I use is, and coming to this Nintendo Switch, and then it's like now announcing, and then Banjo-Kazooie shown, and Papa Phil walks down and is like, here's Banjo-Kazooie, and talks about how Microsoft and Nintendo are partnering, and or whatever. But
which show is first, Microsoft or Nintendo?
Microsoft.
Okay, it all depends on Phil Spencer's shirt.
Justin, I'm going to make your day. I'm going to say my speculation on one or the other showing up at each other's conference is between 80 and 90%.
Holy crap, you just made my night.
Yeah.
That would be awesome. I think we are so close to having that happen. And what a time,
I'm going to ruin your day. I'm going to say it's 20% at best for this year.
Okay.
I don't think we're there yet. I think at the earliest next year, maybe even 2020. But I think right now we're just a bit too soon to have Phil Spencer appear at Nintendo, or throwing a name out there, Miyamoto pop over to Microsoft. I think we're not this year.
I would have said.
You're right. We are close.
Yeah, I would have said the same thing had we not seen a game like Mario and Rabbids Kingdom Battle, but who would have thought? But,
I could see Yves, whatever his name is from Ubisoft, appearing at Nintendo.
Sure.
I could see somebody from EA appearing at Nintendo or Microsoft. I think they have before.
Sure. Sure.
So I could see that before I see the big boys cross the streams.
Sure. Well,
I think EA is going to have a couple of nice surprises this year.
I think so too.
I think you're gonna like EA's conference.
So people who are hating and shitting on EA, just year might
give it a
actually be
second.
good.
Yeah,
So
give it a
yeah,
second.
they're not the Nickelback of the gaming industry. Okay, stop it.
I wouldn't go that far. They might
No.
be.
It got real cool to hate them. So
There's some other stuff I'm hearing.
Right. So anyway,
we'll
just to finish off, like we said, Pokemon, Let's Go Eevee, and Let's
I
Go
was gonna
Pikachu.
say, what
That's
were we
where we're at. Those games are
Thanks.
rumored to be coming to the Nintendo Switch. Do we have a timeline on that? We don't have a timeline on that, do we? Just the
No timeline. I wouldn't
Okay.
be surprised though if it's 2018.
I wouldn't
Yeah.
either. I wouldn't either because we don't know a
But
lot
then
of what's coming.
I'll walk that back. Actually, if they were releasing it in 2018, they probably wouldn't be doing it till like October or November. And that's a really stupid time to release a game that relies heavily on outdoor integration. So
You're right.
Yeah,
You're right. Yeah. No, you're
yeah.
right. Yep.
unless it's coming out in August, then no, it's got to be a 2019 title.
Unless it's like we're releasing this game and then starting soon with this update, we're going to. That's just when, like, starting in the spring with this update, we'll be able to do the Pokemon Go thing. But I would think
No,
that
you gotta,
I
you
think
gotta
you would
roll
do it
that
right out
out.
the gates.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think you do it right out the gates. But
Maybe they just release it regionally, so it releases in the southern climates first, and then it gradually makes its way north as the weather rolls up.
oh, jeez.
Judging here, we won't see it until 3 years from now.
Shut up. The weather's been great the past few weeks.
Oh sure, because it's supposed to be. It's freaking May. It's we are
It was
officially
like April. Yeah, it was April. that
we're
day.
basically in summer already.
Yeah,
and
we're
it's finally happening.
Yep.
Love it.
One more bit of Nintendo news is that Nintendo posting a job for a level designer for The Legend of Zelda. Rumored to be some new DLC.
The posting doesn't specify DLC or if it's for a different Legend of Zelda game. So looks like we could get something sooner than later. But are we thinking that they're going to have more DLC for Breath of the Wild, or do we think that game's set as the way it is?
I think that game's run its course. I think as far as new content, that game's kind of run its course.
Yeah,
I think this
I
might
agree.
be something that's, could this be
Could this
them
be
maybe bringing Zelda to mobile devices? Could they be bringing something Zelda to
3DS?
3DS?
Right.
Like, I don't know.
Well,
I
I
don't
could-
think you do Switch stuff just yet.
Right.
This close to the heels of one of the best games ever made.
Right.
Well, what if they were to go the route that they did with Majora's Mask, which was really just
Yes.
them slapping together a bunch of assets from Ocarina of Time
Yep.
and forging a new game out of that. So what if they took a bunch of Breath of the Wild assets, rearranged them, and put that out as like a kind of a gap filling Legend of Zelda?
I hope not, because Majora's Mask was not that great.
A lot of people love it though.
I know
could
they
see
do.
I could see them doing something like that.
Oh, I agree.
And I could see Zelda actually being the lead character.
Sure.
Yeah. They did say it could be for something completely different. The rumor or the job posting doesn't specify anything, so it's all speculation about what it's going to be for. But we do know that with some of the talk that in the earnings calls and everything that's been talked about, that the 3DS will be supported into 2019 at least. So could be another mobile game, but
Never be rid of it. It could also be the long rumored. I've heard rumors that they're doing a remake of Link's Awakening,
okay.
Right.
Yeah.
sort of like what they did with Samus Returns last year.
Right.
That
Yeah.
I'm all for, because that
man,
game
yeah.
is great.
I would be
So-
down with that.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I
So
agree.
the job posting for more Zelda stuff in the future, the very, very near future, it seems, and that's great. Also, speaking of Zelda, this Friday is Hyrule Warriors on Switch.
Oh, that's
yeah,
right.
That is right.
So I'll be streaming some of that on Friday on the Jeff Rush channel. Cheap plug.
Hey,
It'll be
one
on
thing
the. Yep. Go ahead.
Oh, I was gonna say one thing on the Nintendo basket that I didn't see on the list here was that it was announced that Mario Tennis Aces is going to have
Yes.
its beta on
Yep.
June 1st through June 3rd. So we'll finally get to see what this game is all about. I think this is going to be the sleeper hit of the summer. I'm excited for it, actually.
Yeah.
I really hope so, for how bad the Wii U tennis game was. So I
Right.
really hope that this is be fun. And one of us will be doing some content with that during the beta. I'll be settling in my new place then, so it might not be me.
Well, and
but
this is for everybody, right? So you don't have to like pre-order the game to get into the beta or anything, right? I mean, anybody can jump in.
No. Yeah, it's like the ARMS beta and the Splatoon 2 test fires and stuff.
So essentially, like, try it out. And the reason we say that is because some of the older Mario sport games are actually really good. I'm a huge fan of the Mario baseball one. That was on the Wii, I think it was. Obviously, Mario Golf is very popular. So make sure that you try these games out because this game looks like it could, like Dave said, it could be the sleeper hit of the summer.
And it just makes more sense than Star Fox Grand Prix.
Okay, I'll give it that one. I like the GBA golf and tennis games. That's like RPG elements to it. They're a lot of fun.
Yeah. Well,
there's a lot of that Toadstool Tour on 3DS.
And this one might have that too because they did talk about. It's going to have like boss fights and different things like that, and some sort of like story mode, and so yeah, definitely look out for that here real soon because that's only in a couple weeks.
Yeah, that's coming out very soon. Nintendo had a bit of a stride here with Donkey Kong recently, and Hyrule Warriors Friday, and Mario Tennis Aces beta here in a couple weeks. So Nintendo, they're clicking, man, at the right time. They're coming into E3.
They're coming in hot.
I'm excited.
Coming in
hot. Not sure
hot.
why I'm talking like this now. Here we go.
Coming in hot.
They're coming in hot like Mac walking into Patty's pub. I'm coming in hot.
Oh, it's Mountain Dew. I've been drinking.
Yep, that's what it is. Cheap plug.
Any more Nintendo stuff?
No, I don't think so. I think you hit it all.
Great. Sony announced their E3 press conference. They finally announced their E3 showcase, saying it will be, quote, different than normal and focus on 4 of their big titles. I believe one of them is Death Stranding. Do we have the other stuff? Justin's pointing at me. Go ahead.
Death Stranding, Spider-Man 4, or no, Spider-Man for PlayStation 4. Last of Us 2.
And then Days Gone.
And Days Gone. Those are your 4, I believe.
This seems weird. I mean, I like the fact that they're showcasing these 4 and kind of focusing on those 4. But don't they have other stuff to also show?
Yeah, I don't think it's What really throws me for a loop a little bit is it says different than normal. So is it different than normal from like the E3?
Like all hands went up like okay.
Well, is it different than normal from like last E3 or different than normal from like the PlayStation event that we all stayed up late for and watched in the winter where we were like, oh, that was a big waste of time.
Exactly. That's what I'm afraid of.
Which one are we going towards here?
People are misinterpreting what he was saying. If you actually go back and listen to the podcast that he was on, what he was saying was that what's different from normal is that they're telling you that they're going to focus on 4 games, that they're going to be doing these deeper dives. So everything else is going to be the same. We're still going to have third parties. We're going to still see games that they haven't announced yet, and other games a part of it. Right. Yeah. It's just that, we're doing something different in that we're being upfront with telling you that we're going to showcase 4 games, and these are the 4 games that we're going to showcase.
So they're being exactly the same as they've always been, except they're just telling you the BS up front.
Yes.
Okay. All right.
Woohoo!
Well, so let's. I seen a picture of like a supposed leak. It's not. I'm sure somebody just put together of like what the Sony conference would look like. Obviously, I think you're going to see something Red Dead at this point. You would imagine that something with Red Dead is going to be shown at the Sony conference.
Yeah.
You got to go Call of Duty.
What?
Microsoft has the rights to that, don't they?
I think they got it back. I think they did. Ghost of Tsushima.
Yep.
Will probably be there. Obviously you're going to get PSVR. They're not just going to abandon it, I wouldn't imagine.
No. It's doing well for
I think Dave is right. The way he, and the reason that I still kept the wording in there from when I wrote the agenda, for example, was because that's the big thing is people are overreacting to what he said, but are we? I think they're going to lean more towards E3's of past. I don't think it's going to be the PlayStation experience that we type event where it's more of like a laid back sit down kind of thing. You're just going to focus on the 4 heavy hitters, and you're still going to see the big ones. You're still going to see your Red Dead. You're still going to see. You might even see the part of the remake of was it Medieval or Medieval?
Medieval, yeah.
You might see that.
So
I really want to see more of Death Stranding because I'm so confused.
We're finally gonna get to learn together what the hell is actually happening in this game.
What kind of game is this?
Yeah, we don't know what kind of game. I mean, but the thing is, we might. I'm not 100% convinced that we will get to learn what the damn thing is.
Probably not. You'll string us along.
We'll get some answers.
I think we'll get some answers and then more questions.
Exactly.
More questions than answers.
Yes.
The thing about Sony is they realized that for all the great releases that they had last year, both their E3 conference and that PSX conference they weren't up to the standards that we expected from them from 2015 and 2016. So they're well aware of that. The PSX was just different. It was a kind of a
PSX was just different. Yeah, it was just a different.
I don't think it was crappy.
Crappy.
You're doing the crappy dance. Woo!
My sprockets dance.
Oh boy.
PSX, pretty shitty times.
Holy crap. Anyway.
All right. So
I think Sony will try and have a return to form this year at E3. Now, whether or not I don't know. Well, I think Microsoft is going to be off the chain this year.
I think so too.
So let's talk about Sony real quick. We talked about it was announced they finally announced their showcase. It is on Monday. Is that correct?
Yeah. So same time slot that it was in, so it's going to be 9 o'clock Eastern, 8 Central.
So Monday the 11th, and so if you guys again want to tune in and watch, that, and also get some good unbiased and very fun content, obviously you can tune in to Nerd Bacon. That's for a cheap plug for later, but we want to make sure you guys are aware that they did announce it. We didn't exactly say when, but that is when it will be. So,
right. Okay. Speaking of these the announcements, Bethesda.
Holy crap!
Finally came out. They've been on Twitter posting pictures the entire week. Everyone knew from day one.
Yep.
It's Rage 2.
Yep.
Rage 2 got announced and.
Sure did.
It's happening, and it seemed weird to announce it now as opposed to E3, but maybe this is where they can kind of hinge their bets on now to put a gameplay trailer out even as well. So not only do we have the announcement, we have a gameplay trailer, kind of getting some hype before E3, which is kind of interesting.
Right.
Guys, Rage 2 announced, happening. Thoughts?
Okay,
cool.
real quick. Show of hands who played Rage 1. Okay, 1 out of 3. That's about what it sounds like across the interwebs, what people are saying. That not as many people played it as, and the people that have played it, it's very divisive. Either people say it's absolute shite, and other people say that it's great.
I think it's great.
This is another game that I don't know that anybody was exactly clamoring for.
I was.
Okay, Jeff was clamoring for it. But
I wasn't clamoring. I was saying, this is okay. Go ahead, Justin.
No, I was just saying, if you were asking for it, then shout it out to the rooftops, my friend. Like,
I wasn't saying. No, I have neighbors out there.
Jeff wanted Rage 2. So anyway,
just exciting.
But it came hot on a leak, which is that this game was coming. They kind of played with it a little bit on Twitter about like,
that was cool.
And you're missing the wrong box art and the wrong font and this and that.
Stop leaking.
Yeah, stop leaking and all this, and then all of a sudden you start getting pictures of like random things with bright yellow and pink and like teeth and dirty face and the 5 and the 4 in the teeth, or 14 in the teeth, and so you knew it was coming. But yeah, it's announced. The other cool thing that I really liked about this is that Avalanche Studios is working with id Software on this game.
Yes, this is an id game. Rage is an id game. They highly touted that when the first game came out, from the makers of Doom. This is an id game.
Yes.
And Avalanche was the ones behind Just Cause.
Yes, that is correct.
I think this is the right move for Bethesda because it's something that's not Elder Scrolls, it's not Fallout, it's not Wolfenstein.
Right.
It's something different. My God, people, it's a different thing.
Yep.
I know.
Yep.
I know.
It's a different IP.
I think it'll do well. I think it'll do well.
It will do well, I feel.
Okay, so let me ask you this then.
Bethesda's been on such a roll that people are going to give it a chance, I think.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yes.
But this won't be their big game.
No.
Not this year.
No.
They would announce it now if it's a big game.
Well, even them announcing it in general, I was kind of caught off guard that I was like, they were going to do it so quickly. Because it went from, it's in Bethesda fashion, it went from, okay, there's a leak, and then next day it's like, oh, wait, Bethesda's commenting on this? And then next thing you know, there's pictures of 514, and you're like, holy crap, that's like 2 days away. And then next thing you know, here's a reveal, and E3 is a month away.
Yeah, and last year they didn't have really much at E3 that we didn't know.
Not a ton.
I think Wolfenstein 2 was the one we were kind of like, oh, okay, cool.
Yeah. Evil Within 2. Yep.
The rest was kind of like stuff we kind of knew was already happening.
Sure.
Except the VR stuff. I didn't really know that Doom VFR was coming out, which is kind of
Right. Well, and so I think there's some footage of this or gameplay that came out just today of this game. And it kind of, so what was Rage 1 like? Let me ask you that. Was it a shooter, of course, first person?
Yeah. It was a shooter, but there was a lot of anger.
Oh, yes, it was very angry.
A lot of rage.
I like how Dave froze on my screen in that pose. So if someone could gift that, that'd be great. We may be famous here for too long. Yeah, there was a shooter. It wasn't. There was some like crafting and some open worldness to it. Okay. I don't think it wasn't really an RPG per se.
Sure.
But it really touted, hey, we made Doom. This is a kind of a Twitch-based shooter with mutants and lots of anger and gore and mutants, and it was really cool.
Okay.
I played it a lot on 360 before I played it on the PC, and PC always the way to go.
I heard really good things about it.
What about the aesthetic of the second one? Like so far, like what you're seeing now compared to the first one, how do you compare the aesthetic? You got these bright colors and oh sure,
I'm happy.
Sure.
I'm happy there's actual color in this and not just the apocalyptic Mad Max wasteland. So no, I wouldn't say stoked is the word for it, but this is like okay, cool. I'm way into some more rage.
Right. Yeah, stoked. I think stoked is appropriate for you.
Yeah.
I get stoked pretty easily anymore. It seems. I'm like, yeah, Star Fox. No.
Like Star Fox. Never mind.
Sure.
Bethesda, no. Interesting. Bethesda is saying that this year's E3 conference might be their longest.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Especially if they drop this whole Starfield.
Oh my gosh.
Whatever the hell it's supposed to be called.
Which is when the picture of that spaceship came out with the pink, there was some people commenting on that about it, and they were like,
That's what I thought.
Yeah.
I think maybe it's a double entendre.
Entendre?
Yeah, I could see that.
Yeah. I think it was supposed to talk about Starfield and Rage.
Okay, I can see that.
Oh. But I'm confident Starfield is happening, and from what I've heard, it sounds really awesome.
Well, whatever the case is, Bethesda's not done with the new game announcements. This is not their big reveal because they wouldn't do this close to E3. If they have something big besides Rage 2, they're going to announce it at E3.
Yes, and I think they will. So
yeah,
it's going to be one of those beautiful moments where they wow you with Starfield. And then they're like, "Oh, by the way, this is out October of 2018." And
20,000.
20,000. Yeah.
And
I'm just gonna rent my clothes and be like, "Yes, put it in my veins." Does it come with another edition of Elder Scrolls Skyrim?
Oh, Jesus.
Probably. Yeah.
Hey, chances we get another version of Elder Scrolls Skyrim.
You get Elder Scrolls Skyrim mobile.
They're gonna port it to the Wii U just for good measure.
Yep.
They gotta get them all. They gotta get them all.
Oh, jeez.
I still kind of want to get it for Switch just to have it on the go.
We've retooled this as an 8-bit game and released it as a special edition cartridge for your NES.
Yeah.
I would buy the crap out of that.
I would too, actually.
I'd buy the crap out of that. For sure. Oh, speaking of which, I think there's a mod in the VR version of Skyrim that you can actually use your voice and yell for Shura, and it will do the shouts.
Oh, jeez.
There is mod support. So, of course, I probably should buy it. Just for that. Just to piss off my neighbors even more. Okay.
All right.
Let's see. The Walmart Canada E3 leak. Which one of you had that one?
I put it up there because that came kind of with the Rage 2. So there was that.
Okay.
So I don't know how familiar you guys are with that. If not, I can pull that up there.
Yeah, I remember. So Walmart, in their coming soon, they put a bunch of placeholder boxes out for games like Rage 2, a new Splinter Cell from Ubisoft this year, Final Fantasy VII Remake, Kingdom Hearts 3, stuff like that. So a lot of stuff that we already knew about. We didn't know about Rage 2, and then subsequently Bethesda was like, all right, cat's out of the bag, we're raging. So.
Yeah. So this was about a week ago where I'm pulling up the placeholder right now. So I mean, he's hit the nail on the head on that one, but you're seeing games like Splinter Cell, like you said, Rage 2 is on there. Obviously, that's the one they got. Beyond Good and Evil 2. Obviously, there's other games. Like it shows Metroid Prime 4, Final Fantasy 7 Remake, Just Cause 4.
Yeah, just cause. So it wasn't like I don't think it was an earth-shattering leak because Final Fantasy VII Remake, we already knew that was coming.
Lego DC Villains. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think we knew that was coming.
Borderlands 3.
Yes,
we know that's in development, though.
Yes, but
Assassin's Creed.
I'm stoked for Borderlands 3. I'll use that word. I'm stoked for Borderlands 3.
Another Dragon Quest game. I'm trying to look through here.
Yeah.
I mean, we knew about some of these games. Like, obviously, like it shows like The Division 2. We know that's there. Right. Now, the thing is that there was some games in there that we did not necessarily know about, and that's where Rage 2 came from. And the question is how legitimate do you think this leak is?
I think this is very accurate because a lot of these games are already been announced. Like these games aren't surprising.
Do you think somebody loses their job?
Like at Walmart, I don't know. They would have to learn to read what they were posting first.
Amazon's done this for years with no consequences. Obviously, I mean they're the ones that put Splinter Cell out there first.
Right. And
retailers always do that.
It also mentioned Gears of War 5. That was the other one that I found.
Yeah, I mean that's kind of a no-brainer at this point that they had to work on something for Gears of War.
That would be kind of sad at this point, though. What if it turns out after all this? No. I'm saying, how sad would it be if it turns out after all this hype and speculation of, is this Microsoft's big year where they're going to break out? All we get from them is here's Forza Horizon 4 and Gears of War 5. Whoa, we're Microsoft. Boom. Like if we just get
that was the conference, I'd be happy.
If they did just Microsoft. Like
that. They should get Will Arnett to play Joe Bluth and do the conference.
Please.
It's Forza Horizon 5. Yeah. We're only up to 4.
The new season of that's coming up, by the way.
I know. I can't believe that. May 29th.
Yeah.
I will to kind of piggyback on the Walmart Canada E3 leak. Gearbox. So an article from Variety. Gearbox came out and said that Borderlands 3 won't be at E3.
Okay.
Oh, really?
So
interesting.
We all know that Borderlands 3. Well, I mean, if you didn't, you're pretty confident that Borderlands 3 is in development. It's coming at some point. But did we think it would be at E3? And that was posted 5 hours ago.
No, I think if they may show that at like a patch or something. I think at this point Gearbox is kind of in that point where they need to get this thing right, and they're really not main stage worthy right now because of the recent stuff with Alien Colonial Marines, with Duke Nukem, with Battleborn. I keep forgetting that freaking game's name.
2 Battleborn mentions in one show. Holy crap!
I know. That's a record. We'll never do it again. So I think they wait for like Apex or I guess GDC's behind us already. What else is there besides PAX? There's got to be like the Gamescom in Germany. Is that still like coming out? Tokyo Game Show, is that going to be coming out? Like Paris Games Fashion Week. What the hell it's called?
Paris Games Week, whatever. Yeah, there's events. Yeah.
I'm going to put an article over at NerdBig as well. Like my things that I wish would be announced, like my out there wish list, and one of them involves wow, coffee talk. One of them involves Borderlands, because what I really want for Borderlands is not Borderlands 3, but a MMO called Border Worlds. I want a proper sort of like Defiance when that MMO came out. If they could make a Borderlands MMO called Border Worlds, I'd be dope. I'd be stoked for that.
You'd be stoked.
Like, here's my out there wish list that would make me cry like Dave.
Holy crap.
I know. The other news in the retail world, besides the Walmart leak, the GameStop CEO has stepped down after 2 months.
Yes.
Fellas, hit me with some names and some stats and some facts here, boys.
Whew.
So he decided he didn't want to do day 61, and he bailed.
Nice.
Yeah,
What was his name? I don't even know what his name was. I need some facts here, people.
Here, let me do a little quick fact check for you.
What we do know is that Dan DiMatteo is coming back.
Yeah.
Okay.
Who used to run the company back in the day. Back in the day, I think before it was GameStop. But
Back
here's
there's
the thing.
Babbage's in Electronic Boutique and Funko Land and software, etc.
So here's the big question. He says it was for personal reasons. Maybe he had family trouble or something like that, or maybe he got I don't know. I'm just spitballing here. What if one of the major console manufacturers, what if he got word that one of them was thinking of really making an effort to steer away from physical media? And then that might be where the industry goes.
I guess
mean, the industry's already headed that direction.
Yeah, definitely.
So,
but if one of the console, if like Microsoft or Sony says, you know what, Xbox next or PlayStation 5, whatever you want to say,
sure,
our next box is not going to have physical media, or we'll release 2 SKUs. One SKU will be more expensive, and it will allow physical media. The other SKU will be less expensive, have the same power, but will be streamlined. It won't have any physical media available.
Right.
I guess that's the bigger discussion that we could probably spend an entire podcast on. Is right now, what is the relevance of these game stores besides like retro stuff anymore? Because we're already dipping into the digital sales, and you're seeing PC players. If we are PC players, we're buying on Steam. Period.
Mm-hmm.
That's how we're doing it, through Steam or through Origin or through whatever other source we can get them from. I haven't bought a boxed PC game since the World of Warcraft expansion, so I can get the super duper version because I'm an idiot. I'm an idiot. I love it. I get sweet mouse pads. That's why I get it for. But like I don't buy physical games as often as I used to. I mean, there are games that I want and I need to have physical. Like I bought God of War because I want to have that physical. I bought Duke Nukem Forever because I want to have this thing that I was promised my entire life in my hands. So I guess are we getting to an age where the game stops and the like are not going to matter as much? I mean, Toys R Us has already been closing their doors.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, I think we've already been getting to that point, like you said, but I think it's only a matter of time now, and I think that's why you've seen GameStop make these odd moves where, we're going to sell refurbished tablets, or we're going to sell cell phone plans, and
right.
we're buying ThinkGeek, which that makes sense, but now you walk into a GameStop now, it's like toys all at the front. It looks like ThinkGeek, and then you got games.
Do you know how hard it is to go to a GameStop anymore because they have so much shit everywhere?
Yeah.
I'm sorry for swearing so much, but damn it, there's just shit everywhere, and like the line you have to go to buy stuff, you have to go like follow the labyrinth and then Santa David Bowie, and then you go into the back by the other puppets, and then they have you funnel in this line, and if there's more than one person in line, you're screwed because they don't have anybody working the damn counter. Right. So you're there for at least an hour to buy probably a keychain or whatever the heck you want to buy. And then you get, and around Christmas time, forget it. Like if you're around holiday season, forget it.
It's terrible.
So
it's not like how it used to be when I worked there back in the day.
Yeah.
Way back in the day.
Used to be fun to work there.
So
we
rent tight ship.
Just to kind of go off of on the subject when you were talking about names and stats, here's just an article that was posted over at Fortune. It says GameStop CEO Michael Mahler is leaving the games retailer after just a few months on the job. In a statement, GameStop said that Mahler will be leaving the company immediately. GameStop cited personal reasons for his departure and did not elaborate on what those reasons might be. GameStop executive, chairman and former CEO Daniel DeMatteo will return to the chief executive role in the interim capacity.
Did I say DeMatteo?
Yeah, whatever works. Either way, he said that in a statement on Friday that his tenure and familiarity with GameStop makes his transitioning to the interim CEO a natural step. Mahler had been with GameStop for more than 16 years before becoming the chief executive. He had served as the company's executive vice president and the president of its international division. He was also appointed to the company's board of directors. In early trading on Friday, this past Friday, shareholders seemed displeased with Mahler's departure, sending GameStop shares down 43 cents to $12.60. It was the latest bit of bad news for GameStop shares, which have been halved in the last year. So there's some stats for you.
Huh.
Interesting developments. We'll see what happens now. Probably not much will happen because there really wasn't much time for change to actually take place.
Right.
So GameStop will be back on the norm, I guess, with Dan Matteo. Sorry.
Yeah. Dan Matteo.
At this point.
Gotta push those Game Informer subscriptions on you.
Gotta make those subs and reserves, man.
Yep.
You gotta hit those numbers.
Isn't it sick that Game Informer is the only real magazine left?
Yeah, and you know what?
Is EGM still around?
I don't think so. Is official Xbox magazine done as well? I don't know if they're still out or not.
I think the print version might be done.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Yeah, I mean, because even with Game Informer at this point, the only reason that when I've went to a GameStop, upped my subscription or my membership was to get the free magazines. I'm like, I'll just get it for the year. Might as well.
Yeah.
When's the last time you actually read one of those, though?
Last month.
Did you actually read it?
Yeah. Well,
for the articles
in the hospital. I read mine in the hospital.
Oh well, okay, sure, yeah.
I have on my coffee table down in the basement with my systems right now. I've got about the last 6 issues laying out on the table. So I've read through them, and
that would be good for us to kind of dive into. They did a top 300 games of all time.
Woo!
And I'm not saying we talk about all 300 of them.
Can of worms.
But I'm saying if we had a round table like their top 10 or something, and just kind of see what we think of their top 10 and just crap all over them.
And shine to you!
I could tell you their top 10 is probably stuff that's still readily available, so they can push those sales.
Could be.
Sure.
Could be, yeah.
Anyway. I didn't like Game Informer.
Well,
can I say
GameStop also was what's the company, what's the team that made or was behind was it Song of the Deep?
Oh yeah,
because that's a GameStop owned company, right?
Yes.
So I mean, that could be another route that GameStop goes. I'm not saying they will, but like you said, it's essentially you walk in and you've got your Funko Pops, which are great. You've got your random crap all over, and then at some point, are they going to bring back the retro stuff? Because it's Dave and I were mentioning that the other day, how it almost seems like they would have to, because they have the SKUs out there.
Yeah, it's on their website. If you shop online with GameStop, they have a bunch of retro stuff out there. So right. I think they may be leaning towards, hey, what's still physical anymore? What, like, get statues and Funko Pops and T-shirts and keychains and all this crap, and make sure that we can clog our lanes so people can't shop in our stores.
Yep.
It's like Hot Topic. Okay, here's the question: what's worse, Hot Topic or GameStop? Why must it all be so small?
Hot Topic.
I'd probably say that too, but it's close.
Yeah, it's real close.
Because you can't get 2 people in one alley, and I want to just buy my Bullet Club shirts and leave, and I can't. It's just one other person in the store. They put the Funko Pops all the way in the back, and that sucks.
And they're usually stacked on the higher shelves. And
yeah, the ones I want are at the freaking top. Yeah. I don't want Harry Potter stuff. I want the WWE stuff. Cater to me.
Damn it, cater to Jeff.
Damn it,
You know what we should? You know what you should do, Jeff? You should apply to work at Hot Topic, and then you should become the manager of Hot Topic, and then change everything around to how you like it, and that would really be sticking it to the man.
Yeah.
I don't have black fingernail polish or chokers.
We can get you them.
We can
at
help
Hot
you.
Topic.
We can help
Very
you.
good. Very good. Can I say how much I appreciate the new Nerd Bacon logo? How sweet that is.
It is
Do
awesome.
you really like it?
Yeah,
I like it.
I think the banner is even really cool. I like the fact that we represent the 3 major companies of the 3 colors. I noticed a little.
Oh, good. I'm
there.
glad you caught that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
All of a sudden, I'm like-
really dig it.
All of a sudden,
I
I'm like,
was-
hey, look at us.
Yeah, obviously you'll have to send it over our way so I can put it up on the
Yes.
streams and stuff. But yes,
Yeah.
I think it's really cool.
Cool. Now you know what I do on Friday nights when I've got nothing else to do. I stay until 12:30 to do stuff like that.
Well, here
so
pretty
let's,
soon we're gonna have little cartoon versions of us 3 that we'll be able to put out there.
Oh, we need that to be great.
I
so-
wish
so
I had
the-
those skills. Unfortunately, I don't.
It's okay.
To kind of bring her home, let's talk about our E3 plans and
Yeah.
our schedule. So E3 is coming up, like you said, in just a couple weeks.
Yep.
The first conference is June 6th with EA, but let's kind of go over what our plans are for E3 and what our schedule for streaming.
Okay.
Because we're going to be talking over every major press conference. That's EA, Ubisoft, Square Enix, Microsoft, Nintendo, Sony. That's 6. Am I missing any?
Let's see.
Ubisoft,
Yeah, EA, Microsoft, Bethesda,
Yes, thank you.
and then Monday is Square, Ubi, Sony.
Yep.
Tuesday is Nintendo
Nintendo.
and the Super Smash Bros.
Yes.
Invitational 2018.
Yes! I am so stoked for this.
So this is the new Smash game,
Yes.
correct? Okay,
Yes.
this is be the new Smash game.
This is it'll be our first chance to get a really in-depth look
Yep.
at high-level play of
Yep.
of the next Smash title.
They did not invite Hungry Box.
Whatever. No, I'm just kidding.
That's all right
FYI.
though. They've got Armada and they got Mango.
Yeah.
No, I think it's the right call to
Yeah.
not have Hungry Box there.
Why?
I-
Oh, you know what? Do you remember last
Isn't
year
Hungry?
or so
Yeah,
when
isn't
he
he
went
the
on that
one that?
tirade?
Yes, that's probably
Yeah.
why.
Yeah, I think they'd be
You
afraid
gotta
because
support us. You gotta support us playing our. They got new versions out. This is lifestyle.
I think it's more because his attitude. They don't
Sure.
want to have that be front and center for the big kind of reveal of this new game.
Right.
So
Although they're cool with Mango.
Yeah.
I guess.
Hungry Box has too much attitude, but
We're
Mango.
okay with Mango.
Okay.
And his
I guess.
oddly placed tattoos.
He and his degenerate followers.
This is true. And we'll see
Oh
some
my-
of them at EFO.
Yep.
Yeah.
But yeah, so June 6th is let's get some times and some specifics here on times and who's going to be where.
Okay.
Oh my
So
goodness.
this will all be here on the Twitch channel as well as the Facebook Live, and perhaps even if we may attempt to also get it on Mixer, of course.
Right.
But stay tuned to nerdbacon.com and the Facebook page and all that, so we can get all the info out to you guys, and Twitter. Follow us on Twitter.
Yep.
We also will get that out there as well. Justin, go.
Oh, shoot. I mean, I
Thank
got
you.
it.
You look ready. Dave, go.
I got it. Hang
Dave
on.
got
just
it.
a
See,
second.
I wasn't
got
not
it.
ready. I was listening
What
to
I
what you were
get
saying.
for trusting Justin.
Oh, Justin,
I was
why?
listening to what you were saying, Jeff.
Okay,
I'm
so
very
here's
compelling.
what's going on. Saturday, June 9th,
Yep.
2018, we're going to be covering EA Play.
Yep.
Oh, is that
Our
the ninth? That's the
pre-show.
sixth, Sorry.
Yep.
Our pre-show starts at 1:30 p.m. Eastern Time. That's where we're going to go over what happened with EA in the past year and talk about what they might be about to show this year at E3. Then, that little last half an hour at 2 p.m. Eastern, EA Play begins, and you can watch and react with us as we see what EA has on tap at E3 this year.
Right.
That's it for Saturday. Next up, Sunday, Microsoft.
That's
We
June
have
10th. Sunday,
That
June
is
10th.
June 10th. We have an
Yes.
hour of pre-show coverage planned. That's going to start at 3 p.m. Eastern Time, and that'll lead right into Microsoft's huge conference starting at 4 p.m. Eastern.
Yep.
Then we'll be back later that night on Sunday for Bethesda. the longest conference perhaps that Bethesda has ever had.
All about Rage 2.
Our pre-show starts at 9 p.m. Eastern. We're going to do half an hour on that. We could probably do longer, but I'm just scheduling for half an hour. And then Bethesda's conference will start at 9:30 p.m. Eastern. Then we go to sleep, and we're right back at it bright and early Monday, June 12th for Square Enix. That's right. They don't do a stream all the time at E3, but this year is going to be a special year, so they are doing a Square Enix Direct type thing.
Something big is coming from Square Enix.
You mean Kingdom Hearts 3?
That's
one of them.
Keep going.
All right.
Keep going.
So, our coverage will be 45 minutes long. We'll start at 12:15 p.m. Eastern. That will lead right into Square Enix's presentation at 1 p.m. Next up on Monday as well, just a few hours later, Ubisoft. They are starting at 3 p.m. Eastern. We'll give them an hour of pre-show coverage. And then the event starts at 4 o'clock Eastern. And then we take a dinner break and come right back with Sony. And our pre-show coverage for Sony will start at 8 p.m. Eastern time. That's going to go for an hour as we try and figure out what is going to really be going on in Death Stranding. And then we'll find out all together, live. And you can react along with us at 9 p.m. Eastern when Sony starts their big shindig. And then we try to recover from that. We try to temper the excitement a little bit so we can get some rest, because the next day, Nintendo Direct. It doesn't get any more direct than a Nintendo Direct. And you can start with our pre-show coverage for Nintendo's presentation at 11 a.m. Eastern. Who's going to be in the new Smash? Are there going to be any other surprises? Is Star Fox Grand Prix real, or is it just a cruel joke?
Why Gamora?
We'll speculate on that for an hour. And then at 12 Eastern, Nintendo Direct begins. So be sure to join us for that. And then we're going to stick with Nintendo. We'll probably stick and watch the first little bit of the Treehouse and see what kind of reveals they had. Because remember last year, we started doing our wrap-up, and then all of a sudden, Nintendo's like, no, we're not done. Yeah, it's a Treehouse, but this is our day. All the rest of you jabronis are out of the way. Nintendo is in the house. We're in the Treehouse, and we've got a little something called Metroid Samus Returns. They revealed that at the Treehouse, so God only knows what's going to happen at the Treehouse. So we'll probably watch that a little bit, but the big thing is that we are going to come back in the evening after the Splatoon 2 World Championship. So we don't have an exact time. It goes as long as it goes, but just rest assured, we're going to go live. Right. As soon as the Splatoon 2 World Championship wraps up, we're going to go live so we can check out the Super Smash Bros. Invitational. We're going to see Mango, Plup, Armada, Zero coming out of retirement, all checking out the latest in Nintendo's fighting series. You are not going to want to miss it. Guys, I am so excited. It's E3 as only Nerd Bacon can bring it. So make sure you bookmark our Twitch page. Check us out on Facebook Live. We're going to be all over the place. Come celebrate gaming's biggest event with the tastiest gaming site on the web, nerdbacon.com. We hope to see you in that chat.
I don't know how to follow that. Good job, Dave. It's like you're an actor or something.
It was like it was meant to be.
So yeah, so stay tuned to the Twitch page, the nerdbacon.com. We'll have some write-ups there as well. Also, next week, we're going to be doing a full podcast on our E3 predictions.
What is that next week
already? Are we doing it next week? I thought we were doing it the 29th.
Your guys' call. Oh. Jesus. Sorry. I didn't say what day next week. I said sometime next week.
Oh my goodness.
See the 22nd.
Let me get my schedule here. Hang on. So next weekend is next week's 22nd. We're doing 29th. Okay, in 2 weeks is our E3 prediction show.
Yes.
Sorry. I'm sorry.
E3 dreams. Our E3 dreams.
Yeah. So we'll talk over every of the major conferences. We'll talk over the Smash Brothers Invitational. all three of us, or a combination of two of us, or a special guest will be
Yes.
joining us.
Yep.
So in some capacity,
Right.
Nerd Bacon will cover everything about E3, and you do not want to miss it because we are awesome, we are hilarious, and we're beautiful.
Everything is
Exactly.
awesome.
Basically, if you want to hang out with three guys who love video games and are having honest reactions
Yep.
just like you at all the stuff that's happening, come hang out with us.
That's
And
right.
could
You
quite
won't.
possibly be intoxicated.
Could be.
Quite probably be.
Yeah.
Yep. Very,
Yeah.
very possible. And that's like I said when I was posting it online. We are just coming to you guys. We're not obviously paid by any other company. We're not doing this because we're sponsored by a certain company, and it's honest, unbiased reactions from three guys who just love video games and want to do this for a living. So, if you want to see more reactions like our reaction to Metroid Prime 4 last year, then tune into our coverage because I'm guaranteeing from the little bit that the little hints that we're getting, I think this is going to be a big one.
Speaking of big ones, let's take her on home, fellas.
Oh, that's what she
Wait.
said.
Speaking of big ones, Cliff Blazinski on Twitter just now.
Oh no.
Takes a lot of stones to stand in front of a room full of executives and pitch and ask for $40 million, folks. Multiple times. Ah, well, biz is biz.
Well then.
Yeah.
and Boss Key is shut down.
Yeah.
He's gonna take a break for a while, and I guess he deserves a little bit of a break. I like Cliff Blazinski. I think he's got a good mind for the business. It's
Right.
just take a break, Cliff. All right, fellas, what are we playing? Where are we streaming? What are we doing? What in the hell's going on? Justin, go ahead first.
All right. Well, I haven't really been streaming at all because of having a newborn.
Great, Dave. What you?
So no, I
Just
mean,
kidding.
I haven't been streaming really much at all because I'm having a newborn, so that's obviously taking up a lot of my time. But I am staying up on par with everything that's going on. Really checking out a lot of the closed alpha for Death Garden coming from Behavior Interactive. Really interested in that. Just jumped back into Dead by Daylight. Let's see. I mean, that's really the only couple games. Oh, God of War. I played a lot of God of War last Friday.
Yeah, you did, boy.
Yeah, I played a lot of God of War. So, yeah, that's really it. I mean, I haven't been able to stream, but I've been playing a little bit behind the scenes.
You enjoying God of War?
Yes, I don't know how to explain how far I am in, because I don't want. I mean, it's far enough along where if you either played it or you haven't at this point. But
How many hours do you say?
let's see, probably about maybe 8 hours.
Okay.
All
right.
Far enough to figure out, that
You're seeing where things are going.
Yeah, I'm seeing where some things are going. I got
Yeah.
some hints. I got some ideas of what's coming. So
There you go.
very, very very cool game. Yeah, I mean, right now it might even be on the top of my Game of the Year list, and that's early, but it's a really cool game so far.
And people can find him at twitch.tv/levelupjustin.
That's yes. All the social medias, Twitch, Mixer. Looking at getting some more equipment to be able to stream on the go and to help out a little more with the site and doing some things on the go. So yeah, follow me wherever you can.
And Twitter.
Yeah, all the social medias, Facebook, Twitter. Well, yeah, Twitter, Instagram. Nerdbacon's Instagram has been more active lately too, by the way.
Has it? I don't think I even have the password for that.
I
I'm
have
not sure
no
who does
idea who
Instagram.
utilizes it, but
So
it's out there.
random people are just posting
what's
on
been
their
on our Instagram?
Mostly boobs.
Boobs. No, I was kidding. No boobs.
That's fine.
I mean, the new logo's up there.
There you
Is
go.
it?
Yeah.
Dog.
The new logo's up there. Just
Somebody's doing their job.
yeah.
Thank you, somebody,
Yeah.
for doing Instagram. Appreciate it.
Posting about some newer.
Sure as
some of
hell
our-
ain't us.
They posted our Twitch E3 schedule.
Hey,
Our
look
E3
at that.
schedules up there are kind of a funny
Somebody's
Mario
gonna-
Bros. Mother's Day joke. Talks about some of our newer articles that are out there. I mean, it's out there. So
Well, thank you, whoever
whoever's-
is in charge of our Instagram.
so anyway, I
Always
will
say
be
Sean.
I will be getting back to doing the streaming, but yeah, you can follow me on all those things at Level Up Justin, and Yeah, I mean, stay tuned because I think we got some big things on the horizon.
Yes,
Yeah.
Dave, hot tag. Do your thing, my friend.
Oh my goodness, I have been too mired in moving
Yep.
and also getting some pre-E3 stuff done to really stream or actually play anything. So
You guys are
don't
so
really have
excited.
anything. I know, I don't have
It's
anything.
been
I
tough.
designed a new logo. That's what I did.
There you go.
So yeah, I did that. Hopefully in the next few weeks, I'll be getting back into streaming a little bit. God, I haven't even touched God of War now that I think of it. I'm maybe like 2 or 3 hours in. It's pathetic. Maybe I'll play that tonight. Maybe we'll just take a break and play that. But anyway, I'd like to play some God of War, and once E3 settles down, I still want to do my marathon Star Fox stream. And I was planning on doing this earlier in the year, but things just kind of got in the way. But I want to do like a playthrough of the original Star Fox, Star Fox 2, Star Fox 64, Star Fox Assault, which I finally just found a used copy a couple of weeks ago, so now I can pull this thing off, and then Star Fox Zero. So I thought it'd be kind of fun just to play through all those. I wouldn't go through like every one of the difficulties of each game. Just do a quick playthrough just to get to the end, and then just kind of celebrate the 25 years of Star Fox and ask ourselves, what's next for Fox McCloud?
Star Fox Grand Prix is.
But otherwise, right now, the immediate thing is just getting stuff ready for E3.
Well, actually, next for Fox is Smash Brothers. So.
That's
Could
true.
be, yeah.
Yeah. And where can people find you at the social medias and the Twitches and all that fun stuff?
That's a good question. Twitch, right here at Nerd Bacon. If you want to follow me on social media, best place to do that is at Dave the Watchman over on Twitter.
Yes.
There you go. Myself, the Jefferoth on Twitch at twitch.tv says Jefferoth. Also on Twitter at the Jefferoth. Last night streamed some Diablo 3. Got a new season character going there. It's enjoyable. I usually put up polls every Monday on Twitter as to what you guys want to see on stream. So make sure you're following and voting on the polls to see what I play on stream on Mondays. Friday, I'll be streaming some Hyrule Warriors Definitive Edition on the Switch.
Okay.
I've been playing a little more God of War. I've been playing some Laser League.
Yes.
Justin, you asked about Laser League.
Yes.
This game is fun.
It's
from
free.
Roll 7 Studios. It's also free if you have Xbox Game Pass.
Yes.
It's only $15 though, if you're on Steam.
It looks so much fun.
It's really cool. It's a really cool game.
Damn it, Jeff! Now I'm gonna have to go play it.
I know. From the people who made Ollie Ollie, and Ollie Ollie 2.
Okay.
Roll 7 Studio out of the UK. I'm trying to get in contact with them to maybe do a little interview or a play with. It's still early access. Perhaps play with the devs, something like that. But it's a cool game. Getting my stuff done in Fortnite because I'm that guy.
Hey, Fortnite it's a blast right now. So.
Also, heads up, people, midweek deals on Steam for Devil May Cry series, up to 75% off the DMC series.
Oh, snap.
Wonder if that could be in advance of anything.
Oh, snap. Oh, snap.
Who knows? But yeah, make sure you're following me on Twitter at Jefferoth or at twitch.tv/Jefferoth or here at the Nerd Bacon to see what I'm playing next. I'm going to do a sizzle reel hopefully soon. A couple more games that I want to do some videos of for the site. And that's kind of... Guys, I'm so busy right now. And then plus I got to move in like 2 weeks.
Yeah.
So... in perfect timing, right before E3, that I had to move all my stuff to a new place.
Yeah.
And get internet hooked up.
I'm excited to be able to be in person this year with all of you guys to be able to do E3 coverage. So
that's going to be fun.
Definitely looking forward to being in person.
You got to figure out the E3 drinking game.
Oh Jesus! Oh Jesus!
So it's all right. So
anytime they snap their fingers in Nintendo's conference.
If Phil Spencer shows up at Nintendo, chug your beer.
Every time Jesus. Dave mistakes Super Lucky's Tale for a new Conquer game. That was the worst moment of my life. That was the worst moment.
That was pretty rough.
It's better than them teasing Conquer and giving you
Bubsy. Well,
I would have been
I feel like Dave almost would have been okay. I think Dave would have almost been okay with that.
I would have laughed because that would have been a great joke.
Yeah.
Super Lucky's Tale was not a good joke.
All right, so thank you all for watching this week's episode of Level Up Lariat podcast here on either on Twitch or Facebook Live. Make sure you're following us on Twitch or Facebook Live. Also, we'll be getting a mixer happening here soon. Also, we're going to try and get an audio version out onto iTunes as well. So
I'm looking into
stay tuned for that. But no matter what, follow on Twitter at NerdBacon and keep locked on nerdbacon.com. E3 is a couple weeks away. We're going to be busy, and you'll want to be a part of this. So for myself, I'm Jeff Roth.
I'm Level Up
Dave,
Justin.
The Watchman.
God damn it, you guys.
We did it every time. We're just